Right, good morning fisher people, I'm Alan Norris from Fish on TV and it is Tuesday the 6th of July, which means it's the Old Boys match fishing day and we are here at Viking Fisheries and we are fishing the Hawk Pond. There are 17 of us, so it's every other peg, which is just perfect. But before I get going, I've had a little prezi given here. I think it's brilliant. Kelvin from Willy Worms, he watches my videos and he sent the mighty fisherman some mighty meat from Bait Tech. So thank you very much, Kelvin. I'm going to be using meat today, so I'll give that a bash. I think that's brilliant. Thank you very, very much. Right, today's plan, what we got, the 17 of us. The weather, it's going to be persisting it down again. Can you believe it? That's the third day on the truck. Going to get wet. I've only just got my gear dried out again. So plan today depends where I get drawn. I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. It's going to be maggots and meat and pellet, and probably bunches of maggots down the margin. Meat, I can either fish up in water on the deck or on the bomb. I will be setting a method feeder up. I find on this pond here, if I put quite a few maggots down on the far bank and chuck the method feeder over it, I tend to do quite well, or pellets, whichever, either or. Ground bait I find is best here. I like to have a few micros just to mix in now and again, but that's pretty much it. I'll probably have a down the track just in front of me. I'm going to keep it as simple as that, so we'll talk about that when we get there. Have a look at the peg. I'm not sure which are the favoured pegs. I know in winter 10 and 11 are the pegs. For some reason they shoal up there. I've had a great day there, one particular great day there where I think the nearest to me were about £20 and I had nearly £100 that day. It was just chuck it in and rod would go around. It was ridiculous. Where the fish are at the minute, I do know that they can end up on the straight, which is in the 20s at this time of year. Peg 33 end peg, because that particular area is not renowned. You tend to get a lot of space there, so sort of the end peg there. 31 looks delicious, but for some reason every time I've drawn that, has been winter month, not been particularly great. But apparently the guy was catching on paste there right at the end for 60 odd pounds on peg 31 to the right in the reeds. I think peg 9 won it this time round, about £100. Laurie has told me it's not fishing particularly well. Seems to be the pattern in most places unless they're heavily stocked. So just don't know, it depends where we get drawn. I'm sure we'll be catching some fish. How many? Just don't know. Feeding, how much do you put in? I say this year, putting lots of bait in, like I said, I think I've said it at Sally Walsh's, it just doesn't seem to have that effect this year. I think it's a bit of caution to start with, so I'm not frightened of putting a lot of dead reds in, to be honest with you. I think that's a bit like a soup to them. I don't think it particularly fills them up, but we'll see where we get drawn, and we'll have a go. I'll definitely have like a mugging rig and a shallow rig set up. Even though the weather's not supposed to be great, you can still catch them up in water here, so, well, pretty much anyway. So that's the plan. Just a few bits to get ready. I've got all the stuff ready for the draw, so we'll be doing that in a few minutes. I've just got to get the rest of my gear onto my box, otherwise I'm going to be late as usual. Right, Viking Fisheries, Hawk Pond, let's see where we get drawn. Not sure which the favoured peg is. Let's just hope we have another lovely day's fishing. And once again, mighty meat. I love it, thank you very much. Over and out. Right, I've drawn peg 25, never fished that area before. Can't remember how I've done draw now. I think I might have a bit of room, so I've got soz to do with the draw because he knows it inside out, so he's left a bit of room there. Must be a reason, but we'll go have a look and we'll see how I do. Right then, fisher people, I'm here on peg 25. I've got Chaz to my left there. We've got Mr. Incredible over there on peg 29. We've got Bob in a favoured peg over there, won it last week on peg 9. Frank's on peg 11. We've got my old mate Jeff Won the match last week. He's in good form, his lad. Thinks he knows all about. He thinks he's a fisherman now, actually. And next to him's his brother, and then we've got Nigel over there. Dave Eccles on peg 3. Mick Smith on peg 33. End peg, we've got quite a bit of room there. I've got the wind blowing left to right, so I've got stuff set up a little bit different because it's going to rain. I want room for my brolly. Right, let's have a look at the peg. We'll start off with margins. Margins for later, I've just cleared all just down here so I can see. There's about a 3 or 4 inch gap, just nice and flat, right in as if the fish have been going into the side. So that's where I'm going to go with the margins, with dead reds. Might even go in a little bit earlier than normal. Here, it sets off at about 3.5 foot-ish, maybe a little bit more, and then it just gradually, ever so slightly, inch by inch, gets a little bit shallower. So I've set up in the slightly deeper water down here. It's top 2 and 2 exactly. I'm going to fish down there with pellet. Over there I've got a shallow rig and a mugging rig set up. Now I don't know whether you can see, but it's awful. All along here we've got blackberry bushes stuck out everywhere, and I've had terrible experience catching those, laying your rigging and everything. So I've got a mugging rig and a shallow rig for out here, but out there you need to be tight to bank if you're going to catch out there. I'm pretty sure I'll get something short. I'm pretty sure I'll get something in the margins. I have seen 1 or 2 fish under those bushes. The only way I can get under there, and I'm not risking putting rigs and losing rigs and everything out there because it's blowing left to right. All the bushes are going like that. I've not set a depth rig up out there. What I am going to do, I'm going to do something I don't normally do, but it's the only way I can get tight to the island. I'm going to have a method feeder out there. I'm going to ship it out with the pole and drop it in, because there's just nowhere to cast to it without getting snagged. If you don't get snagged, I think you've been lucky, and there's nothing worse than those brambles when you get stuck in them with rigs or method feeder. It trashes your gear. I'm not going to do that. So ship out, drop it in the spot, ship back in as quick as I can, because I'm expecting a few bites out there. So that's what I'm going to do today. Right, Jeff says he's got a lovely clear bit up there, typical, and I've just nothing to cast it. It's just completely, it's just everywhere. So that's what I'm going to do. Learned that from Hallcroft Fishery, Jamie Wild. That's one of his favourite tricks. So I think it's a dumping line he calls it, or something. So that's the plan. Dead simple. And even though I can see there's 1 or 2 fish pulling about, they are coming through. So they're just coming through really quick. I've not seen anything just mooching about. There's bow waves, but they're firing through. And there's another one, so that's 1, 2 I've just seen in the space of like 2 minutes. But you can't see the fish, they're just bow waving, they're just tramming through. Wind's getting up. I've just shouted time a couple of minutes ago. I am ready, only just. So let's get out there, let's get a few fish. I'll give you an update in an hour, because they're wireless Go batteries, not the batteries in the camera. They last about, it says 6 hours, but I'll film the last 5 hours, and then I know they'll last all the way through. So there we go, that's the plan. Oh, bait tray. Pellets for the top 2 and 2, and if I would decide to go fire them shallow out there, casting pellets, I've got those. I like some live maggots here. I've also got a couple of pints of dead red and whites, micros and ground bait for around the feeder. I like to start with ground bait here. Don't know why, for some reason ground bait just seems to outperform pellets, and a mixture of both can work really well. And then there's a few little bits and bobs. I like to add stuff like this onto my method feeder, different wafters, different colour pellets for either on the method feeder or shallow, some smaller ones there. And I have got some meat, which I'm going to start off with just mugging about and just see what we can, just have a look round. Not seeing anybody catch anything yet, but I'll just have a little mug about and see where we go from there. Over and out. Alright folks, we're an hour and 15 minutes in. I've not had a bite, neither has Chaz. I don't think Steve's had out. Bob's getting a few smaller ones. Tony's foul hooked a couple. I think Nigel, I think that's a liner again. Oh no, maybe not. They've been absolutely piling. That's the first bite I've had. They've been piling through. In like Red October around here with all these subs knocking about. It's not a big fish. I've tried mugging and they're just not interested whatsoever. They're really steaming through. Not sure what's going off with them. A little hide. Yeah. So what I've done, as you can see there, I've been out on the method 3 times now, and all I've had is liners. It's nearly come off rest, but they've just been going through that quick. It nearly pulled it off rest. Can't work out what's going on. I've seen Steve fishing shallow he's had now. I've seen people fishing top 2 and 2 nothing. But as you can see, they're swirling them out, but then they're just, you know, I mean, there's one coming now from Jeff. I reckon that'll be here next to me in about the next 20 seconds, unless it's going into edge now somewhere. Oh, right next to Jeff's keep nets. You see that, Jeff? You see that? It's absolutely, they're just steaming through. I've never seen out like it. Not like this. And everybody's moaning that they're piling through, but they just don't seem interested in anything whatsoever. So what I've done, I've gone out there, put a couple of cups of dead reds out there. I sent it out via the cup because, like I said, with these, the brambles are actually going into the water. So I just don't get too close because I know for a fact I'll catch them. In fact, I've had one this morning. I was about a foot away from it and it started moving. So I just can't get anywhere near it. You don't know if they're going left or right. There's another one just zooming across there. It's gone 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards. It's absolutely, they're just piling. There's another couple coming down from Jeff. It's incredible. So I'm just hoping that we're going to, I keep throwing a few pellets on this short line here, and I have seen the odd swirl, but I'm not sure they're actually taking the pellets. It looks as if they're taking something else, and I can't work out what it is. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating to say the least at the minute. So how anybody else is doing, I don't know. I've heard Frank saying he's making a mess of it. He's on what's a decent peg, but I don't think he's getting out. It's just one of them days. Jeff's going into his singing, which kills everything. So and it's awkward. It's a bit of a pain shipping it out because I've got to break my pole down. There's not a lot of room behind me. It's a bit of a nightmare, but it's the only way I can get close to banking. So I'm going to get back out there, see if we can get another. So method feeder, maggots in there, drop it in, get back as quick as I can. Hope that goes round. There we go. Right. All I could get on the method was hide. So I wasn't planning on going on a short top kit shallow. I've just gone on there. I've just lost one. It was just pulled out, and then I had a little roach. And I had a nice little hide. Maggot. Yeah. Not floating though. Mr. Incredible's wanting to know you can use bread. So I've just been finding a few maggots out there, flicking it over, and then the wind's just got up and it's nearly blank pull at me. I know it doesn't look it, but trust me, straight across. So see if we can get a few eyes. Nobody's catching carp down here, so I just thought I might as well target a few of those to start with. Keep feeding that line there, the short line. I've not had a look at it yet. I'm not going crazy with feed. They're just not feeding these carp. Nobody's had a carp down here, so let's get back in so we can get a few more hide. Brolly going up in a minute. Alright, so I've been getting tiddlers and I'm still getting tiddlers. The carp seem to be showing a bit of interest as well. I've not had one yet, but I have only got the light gear on. I was wondering whether to start finding a few maggots out there. I don't know. A few wet pellets out there. Soz has just had a walk round. He's not fishing today, like a bit bigger eyed. And he says nobody's really catching. Maggot Man's had a £3 carp. Bob's been catching these eyed. They're not bad, are they, eyed? A little bit bigger, maybe 10 ounce. That's about it at the minute. I'm probably up to about £3 of small fish. The carp have just not shown any interest. Jeff had 100 odd pound last week. He's got one skimmer so far, and he knows this place like the back of his hand. So I'm just putting a single white maggot on. I've tried bandit maggots, but I'm getting a better response like this. And we've got the lovely, horrible bloke just sat behind me now. So don't be swearing, I've got camera on. He can't help swearing, I think he's got Tourette's, you know. I just keep firing loads of maggots in, and there does seem to be a few carp showing a bit of interest, but I have not hooked into one yet. It's just small roach and eyed. All the Sos calls them shitfish, don't you, Sos? You call them shitfish, don't you? That's what I'm doing. Let's see if we can. I managed to have a nice bird's nest while they were here as well. He says there's anglers and there's danglers. Typically, let's see if we can get one while you're on. I'm not saying they're showing interest every time I fire maggots in, but now and again they just seem to have a bit of a swirl about. So let's see if we can tempt one. Tiddler. A tiddler again. Breaking the pole down like this is a bit of a pain, but because there's no room. So I might as well keep putting a few of these in net, and hopefully we'll have something turn up, something decent, start feeding. So just little roach and eyed, and I've had a skimmer as well, about 6 ounce. That's pretty much what I'm doing. You know, you do think, I mean, we do want carp. I mean, there's like £100 can win open matches here. Just seems that when we turn up, stuff seems to be happening. Laurie did say, I think I mentioned it earlier, Laurie did say it's not fishing great at the minute. There'll be odd days where there's something catching £100 odd pound. I think second and third were in 60s. I'm not bothered about a load of maggots coming a bit short, because if I can start drawing these fish out from under there, all well and good. So keep topping that line up with a few pellets just short here. I've seen Jeff and Jack try this line and no success whatsoever, so might as well just keep putting 1 or 2 of these in net and see where we go. There we go. Right then folks, it's been absolutely dire here. We've got an hour and 40 minutes left, something like that, and it's been absolutely dire. I don't think Chaz has had out yet. Mr. Incredible will start getting 1 or 2 in his margin. I've fed my margin. Jeff's had 1. Been catching those skimmers and eyed, and I just sort of feel going towards next platform. So I've just had an underarm cast to there. Why is my method feeder right not there? It's been in a few minutes, and I've literally just saying, well, I can't buy a bite. I think I moaned it on. It flew round. It feels like a good fish as well. And it's trying to get under the platform, which is what they always do. Yep, straight under the bloody platform. Oh, it was foul hooked. That's why it was going balmy. A couple of scales. Nobody likes to see that. Good fish as well, look at that. So, how unlucky is that? Right, foul hooker. I thought it went balmy. Right. It's absolutely diarrhea. Tried short. I've had a couple little taps, nothing. Weather's been horrendous. It's slung it down. Just bits. I've probably got about 4 to 5 pound of bits at the minute, but I just cannot buy a bite off a carp at all. I'm really hoping something's going to turn up in those margins. I've got to have another flick down there, but it's been absolutely awful. It really is. Right, lost fish. Right, just gone into my margin. There's carp in there. All I've had so far is perch, little perch, a skimmer and another iron. I've actually put a piece of meat on for that. I was just getting pestered to death with perch. So I'm going to put quite a bit more bait in just to see if we can get rid of those smaller fish. And tempt some carp. And it keeps raining on and off like crazy. Right, we'll have another go. Well, there's bow waves. I'm not getting any carp bites whatsoever. Another eyed. Bigger piece of luncheon meat as well. Tried big bunches of maggots, little perch. Carp. Keep seeing bow waves, but I'm just not getting any carp to bite at all. Just getting 1 or 2 on paste. I think he's maybe got 2. Chaz has got a carp. I've not watched Mr. Incredible for a while, but I'm really struggling here. There's only 25 minutes to go. Fishing foot section, apparently Bob's emptied it, so really, a bad day at office today. It's been awful here. I'm not having any luck whatsoever just of late. I've got to say, it's probably the worst run I've had for a long time is this, so not to worry. Today's fishing in Pollington on Viking Fishery. Adding a couple of pieces of meat now. There's plenty of bait down there, and I know there's carp mulling about because I keep seeing bowies, but they're like in and out all the time. They're not staying, they're not settling. Right, over and out, let's see if we can get one. Well, fisher people, short and sweet video that. Drew peg 25. Wasn't particularly happy that I couldn't get my pole rig right to the bank and the method feeder right to the bank because of the brambles coming out and the wind blowing across. I did catch it once, had to keep away from it. I thought a method, cupping a method in, get under the brambles, cupping a method in, dropping some maggots or pellets down there, I thought it'd work. And even though I could see fish mulling about there, the only things I could seem to catch was eyed. I even checked to make sure I'd got a hook on. It was a shocking day for me, absolutely shocking. The fish zooming up and down, swirling around, but I could not get them to take a bait. I tried mugging with meat, pellet, maggots. I couldn't get them to take a bait whatsoever. They just shot straight to it. They were going too fast. Nothing seemed to be cruising and taking stuff off top. Did a bit of slapping. I did a little bit of slapping with maggots, which I was catching eyed, I was catching a few roach and skimmers, and that's all I've caught. I've tried top 2 and 2, I've had a few little taps on pellet. I was happy with where I plumbed everything up. I was happy with the hook selection, the bait selection. I decided to go pellet, meat and maggot. I thought that would work today. It has always worked for me here, especially dead reds. The margins, I've actually set off rather cautious with the feed. Seen a bow wave come out, put a little bit more down there, had a look in the margins, and all I could catch there was perch on maggot and eyed on meat. It's unbelievable. I bumped out of a carp, I foul up to carp on my method. Not a lot to say about my fishing. Does make you think you're doing something wrong when you have a day like that. Now, I suppose I could have not made a video and shown you some better videos when I'm catching, but that's not what this channel's about. I've drawn peg 25. It's fished particularly hard. There are lots of fish in there because there was zooming of it. You could see the carp, but they just weren't having it. And everybody, even on the other lakes, they've said that they just weren't having it. But one guy has actually caught. I mentioned peg 9 won it last week, and it's won it today. The weights, by Viking standards, is pretty low. He did warn me, he said it's fishing pretty difficult. I've not actually weighed in. I thought I'd got 5 or 6 pounds. It might have been 7 or 8 when I lifted it up of bits. I don't know how many fish I've had. 20, 25 fish for that. A lot of small ones. I think you saw one of them, but it's a long way to go out to keep catching those. I think if I was going to attack it, I always fish for carp here. I think looking at the weights, if I'd have gone with all the maggots I've brought with me just in front of me, literally maybe top one and one, just chucking maggots in there, I reckon I could have caught 20 or 30 pound of silvers just doing that, and maybe the carp might have come along. But it's all ifs and buts. Shocker of a day. Nothing there to boost the confidence. Nothing to advise you on what I think's best to fish there. I do know pace works there. I do know dead reds. Dead reds for me is pretty much a banker there, and it's not worked at all today. And meat is pretty much the same. It's not worked for me on that peg. I've really struggled. As Mr. Incredible said, he said, you've had a grueler. Margins, I filled them in, put plenty of snap down there, and what I did notice was you'd see a swirl and boom, a carp would shoot straight out. Before I even went down, they seemed to be in and straight back out, in, straight back out. I've bumped into one. I've had a couple where the float's gone all over the place and it's just shot away. Just didn't seem to be having it right there where I was. Jeff managed to get a few on his margins in the end. He's weighed in 30 something pound. I've got absolutely smashed by everybody today. I have had a nightmare. It's been a nightmare! Oh, I always love my fishing. I love the days out, but I've got to say, I've not particularly enjoyed today. It's been a really frustrating day for me. I'm not having a very good run at all. I'm on a bad run, but all you can do is keep prepping, keep looking at your gear, making sure it's right, see how other people are catching, maybe a few tweaks here and there, decent draw, and you're back again, aren't you? It only takes one good day to feel confident again. So there you go, semi-skimmed today. I am this week's old boys most semi-skimmed fisherman. I'm not weighed in. There's been a few others that haven't weighed in. Right, let's get on to the results. Your section winners. We've got old Frank Jono. Well fished, Frank. Peg 11 with 39 pounds. So what a mighty fisherman you are, Frank. Well done, son. Second section, my old mate Jeff in the money again. Peg 22, catching on pace at the end in the last sort of 45 minutes. 34 pounds. Well done, Jeff. What a mighty fisherman you are. And in third place, not waited for his money this week. Told them all to wait for the section monies. Peg 33, end peg, Mick Smith. What did he come in? 30 something pounds. Oh, peg 33, 33 pounds. Oh, what a mighty fisherman you are, Mick. Well done, Cop. Right, third place, peg 18, Nige Middleton. 39 pounds 4. So what a mighty fisherman you are. Well done, son. Second place, peg 1, end peg, with 53 pounds. He's caught on maggot and method and pellet. He's going 53 pounds. So what a mighty fisherman you are, Simon Hudson. Well done, son. And in first place, destroying the field, he's always thereabouts, is Bob. I've mentioned him before. I'm not saying he's there every week, but you know, good angler is Bob. He's drawn the inform peg and he's made the most of it. I've asked him how he's fished. He's 112 pounds and he's this week's Old Boys mightiest fisherman. So well done, Bob Huntington. Great performance today, pal, because I think it's been tough everywhere, not just for me. I seem to have had it particularly hard, and I had loads of room as well, so I don't know why it's been that difficult. I'm just getting worse, I think. Right, Bob, I've asked him how he's caught, and you're not going to believe it. Set off catching the little silvers to start with, then went just top one, smack in front of him on pellet, and he's had some big fish. Last hour it's gone a bit quiet, he's changed to meat and carried on catching. Asked him if he caught the hide on meat. No, he's caught all carp. All I could get was hide, so it just shows you. So well done, Bob. That's the insights to Viking Fisheries. Always look after you here, plenty of fish to be caught. If I had to be critical, because I know you do watch my videos, I think those far bankings need a little bit of a trim so we can get in there. But apart from that, lovely fishery, always make you feel very, very welcome, always give you plenty of information and where the best pegs are. So thank you, Laurie. Right, that's me done. It is Winfields for me next time round. Nothing this weekend, I don't think. No, I don't think I've got anything this weekend. Winfield Fisheries next Tuesday, and then I can't remember whether it's glebe or decoy. I think it's decoy, I'm not sure, in the UK Champ second round. I need to do some press ups and improve, get fit for that one, get all my rigs checked, make sure I heave a few more fish out than the last time I was there. I'd only about 50 odd pounds last time I was there. On piece it was like an oven. I remember it because I could hardly breathe at the end of the day. Right, that's it from me. Hope you've enjoyed a very poor day by me, poor standards by me. Don't forget, folks, it's absolutely free to subscribe. If you already haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button. If you click the notification bell, you will get all our videos as we upload them, and a thumbs up would be very, very nice. Right, there we go. Over and out. See you next Tuesday.